so that we can make sure to record the session because we got some really good stuff. So a lot of people and a lot of the agents that I wanted to announce today aren't going to be able to make the call because guess what? They're out there working. So I was just talking to Jennifer Hillquist, so hopefully she jumps on the call. But I got Maria Speed on here, Magda, Paul, Brian, Alyssa. Okay, so people are slowly starting to creep into our phone call. And before we get started, just to kind of give a few seconds in case some people join up late, I wanted to reiterate and remind everybody about the Halloween movie night that's coming up. Okay, so it's a huge event that we're hosting over in the Lake Elsinore office. Amber's on the call. She's up here. Say hi, Amber. So we have flyers at the offices, you guys, if you have or want information about that, but it's going to be on the 30th on a Friday, and we're going to have a really good time. So I actually was able to get the 101.3 The Mix is going to be advertising the event for us. So that's going to be on the radio, and we're going to get the actual time spots of the radio ad today. As soon as I get those, we're going to send out an email so everybody knows what times those ad spots are going to be playing on the radio. We're expecting to get a big turnout, a lot of people going to be joining us. There's Carol, admit. A lot of people will be joining us for that event, so just make sure if you haven't already signed up, you definitely want to be there if you're able to attend. I heard that we're going to have some costumes. We're giving away some goodie bags. Terry Holiday and her family are putting up a 24 by 12 foot screen outside. It's going to be amazing. So, hey, Melissa, I see you over there. How's it going? Welcome back. But if you want to be a part of it, it's still not too late. Amber, they can still sign up with you and you can inform them of what they need or what we need as a group. Is that right?
Absolutely. Please reach out to me if you guys are interested, to donating candy, because we are going to put goodie bags together for each individual that comes in their car, along with if you have anybody or yourself that would like to do a raffle prize. So we're not putting anything in the goodie bags that advertises for any individual agent. We're just doing a company flyer for property management, escrow, the office, just in general. So we are looking for volunteers. And if you guys have, a handful of A-frames signs, we do need those so we can actually tape off the whole area that we're going to be set up in. And then I do need volunteers to help the day of setting everything up, along with staying for the event and helping us take everything down. So we're going to have certain people do certain tasks throughout the night, and you're going to be responsible for staying and helping and cleaning up also.
Yeah, when you say A-frame signs, you're referring to like open house A-frame signs. Is that correct?
Yeah, the open house A-frame signs, so that way we can put it on the grass area so we can block off with yellow caution tape the whole area for the drive-in.
Okay, perfect. And then it's going to be a full-on production because we got Terry actually got it looks like a radio transmitter. So everybody's going to be able to hear the sound in their vehicles. It's going to be a big event, bigger than I thought. And we are advertising on the radio too. So holy cow, we're expecting a lot of people. We partnered up with the My Buddies Pizza. And so, there's going to be, it's probably going to be a bigger event than we were expecting, to be honest with you guys. But we do still need some help. So if you're interested, let us know, let Amber know. And I see Paul on the call. Paul, maybe we can bust out the new toy, the new Jeep, right? So congratulations. I guess he just purchased a new Jeep that has Jurassic Park printed all over it. So we're going to have some fun with that thing. That's going to be great for events coming up in the future. So you guys, we have a couple of guest speakers on the call today. It looks like people are still slowly starting to roll into the call. Before we get started with some of the things that I want to cover, and like I said, I'm going to guarantee you guys business today if you follow some of these steps. But before we get started, Patty was here this morning, Patty Sather with First American, and she's on our call, and she told me that there's actually a hot topic right now that she wanted to cover with us. So Patty, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to, first of all, welcome, and go ahead and allow you to go and kick things off, please.
All right. Thank you so much, Felipe. I appreciate it. So you guys, we were talking this morning, and Sean, you can jump in here if you want to, add to what I'm going to be talking about. But just recently, I've had 2 new orders that were opened, and both had gone through foreclosures during our COVID timeframe. And so even if the foreclosure process started, so like the NOD or the trustee sale was prior to, when COVID started in March, if the foreclosure finalizes after March of this year, the CARES Act, which Felipe pulled up some information about the CARES Act, and any of you guys can Google it and go on and find out more information about it. But it's caused some heartache and some issue for us because, of course, we're all kind of jumping in this, trying to figure out exactly what needs to happen here because we're really not supposed to have any foreclosures. No foreclosures are supposed to be being done during this CARES Act time. So with the two that I have, and so I'm kind of speaking from the experience that I'm dealing with right now, is that we have to do additional work on those. And we're going to have to take them on a case-by-case basis, but no one can be living in the property. And if it is a tenant that has come into the property, then there's all these disclosures they have to sign. And it's just a lot of additional work that we have to go through. We have to have certain inspections to the property. So the CARES Act is calling out for all of that. And the big problem is it's not really a title issue, it's a lender issue that they're not supposed to be. So if we're giving free and clear title to the new buyer, and then all of a sudden the old owner goes, whoa, 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 I should have been protected under the CARES Act, and now we have a big lawsuit over it, we're going to be paying a whole bunch of monies out because our new buyer is not getting free and clear title to the property. So we have some major issues with this, you guys, that we're trying to work through and figure out what's what with all of this. But I just wanted to give you guys heads up. If you see a file come through and there was a foreclosure done anytime since about March, I don't know what it was, 15th, or if it's the 1st, if they just went back to the 1st of this year, there's going to be additional issues that we have to deal with and that we're going to have to be working on. And some of it can be time consuming because of the inspections. And then of course, if there's people in there, what we have to do. And we're still kind of checking with the state on the guidelines that we have to be following. So I was telling Felipe, it's just kind of a pain in the butt and something more we have to be thinking about. But if you do find that you open up one and there's been a foreclosure done recently, we need to take care of it. There's additional things that need to be done. So any questions on that? Or Sean, do you want to add in anything to that?
No, thank you, Patty. I appreciate it. That is something that I'm very curious about as well. I haven't run into it just yet, but yeah. I have had a couple of colleagues in the industry that have run into it. They actually reached out to me, and any research that you get done on that, I would absolutely love to get that. That'd be fantastic.
And I'll
they are supposed to be protected. So
yeah, exactly. And I'll follow up as time progresses too, and we kind of know what we have to do. I do know that one of the properties that we had this issue on, we did an inspection, and when our inspector went to the property, no one answered, but there was a truck at the property and there were people walking around at the property. So because they didn't answer, now we have to do what they call a drone inspection, and so we have to actually see what's going on that. And it can just cause lots and lots of issues because if it wasn't done correctly and all that sort of thing, which I don't think literally, according to the CARES Act, are they supposed to foreclose at all. So right. Yeah, there's going to be some issues with all that, you guys, coming up. So any questions, feel free to holler at me. Thank you so much, Felipe, for letting me share. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. And more information to follow as we get more information as well. So thank you, Patty.
You bet.
I wanted to tie in. So basically, today I want to talk a little bit about establishing and creating some house habits, if you will, because now more than ever, it's so important. There's so much confusion out there in the community with regard to the pandemic, with what's going on with COVID, with what's going on with interest rates, what's going on with real estate. So we really want to start establishing ourselves and separating ourselves as professionals. And that's really been my passion. And I know most of you, we talked about it a couple of weeks back. Our mission is to provide real quality, real service, and real integrity in all things real estate, right? So they're not just words. It's things that we have to establish and create as far as habits are concerned. So one of the first habits that I want to talk about or highlight today is great communication. I can't stress how much great communication, how imperative it is to have great communication. But when I say great communication, I'm referring to many things. I'm talking about not only practicing your scripting, your videos that you're doing. David's on the call, he's doing a scripting class, and it's not even a class. It's just every Tuesday, it's just a chance to get out there and practice scripting with each other so that you can get confident and comfortable with what you're presenting or what you're talking to the community or people that come and go into the office. I want to give a quick shout out to, she's not showing her face today, but Donna, I can't see her last name, Arevalo. Donna, who's on, I guess she's on the call, but I don't see her face. She had a walk-in buyer yesterday.
I'm on.
Great.
But I don't.
Hey,
I
Donna, congratulations.
Thank you. I didn't put my makeup on this morning. That's why I'm not on.
It's all good. It's all good. So Donna, I wanted to give a great big kudos and a huge shout out because yesterday, you know, she was sitting here on floor time and I keep telling her, hey, one of these days, it's going to happen. It's Paul used to say all the time, it's luck and timing. You just never know. But you keep showing up, and Donna was here, and sure enough, boom, right before her shift ended, I believe, a couple walks in, floor time opportunity. She did a great job. She said, hey, how's it going? How can I help you? Put on her mask. You know, well, we're thinking about buying something out here. So yeah, let me have you come into the conference room. Let's sit down and go over what you're looking for. She handled it very professionally, but at the same time, the thing that she did that really struck me is she utilized all her resources, and she said, you know what, let me go grab Sean, who's our in-house lender, to kind of go over some scenarios. She went right over there, grabbed Sean. Sean comes over here, puts on his mask, sits down. They're in there for about 30 minutes, and they were a solid buyer. We're starting to see a lot more traffic, but great communication is not just dealing with the community. It's actually knowing how to speak professionally, what your job is, what is real estate, how you can define real estate. So Sean, I'm going to throw you in the mix because you came in yesterday and great job. You guys worked as a team and you guys were able to sit there and kind of go over, you know, their you know, scenario, whatever it was that they were looking for. And tell us a little bit about how that was, you know, how Donna, you know, approached you or what happened there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Felipe. Well, number one, Donna crushed it and, you know, built the rapport right away with these people, which was super, super important. That is one of the biggest things when you're sitting down with brand new people is getting to know them a little bit. We all know that as professionals, but, you know, you got to adapt to those situations. But what I was really, really impressed with what she did was, you know, she's still on floor. So, you know, she had to excuse herself. She's getting some phone calls and things. And basically it was just kind of seamless. You know, she kind of waited for the opportunity. I took over the conversation and was interacting with them. She stepped out of the room, did her thing, came back in. We just brought her back up to speed and continued the conversation like she never left. The people weren't disturbed at all. And that is professionalism right there, is actually multitasking and getting those clients to actually feel and believe that you haven't like pushed them aside at all. She did just an amazing job at it. I mean, it was really, really an opportunity for me to be a part of that, Donna. That was rad. It was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And you know, it's something to be said that you guys have to keep in mind. You know, we're putting out the signs every single day. We're starting to see more and more traffic. You know, this is, as far as I remember, this is like the third walk-in that we've had into this office. There's probably been more, but this is the third one that I've been here that people literally walk in because they're starting to see the office is open. They're seeing the signage. They're seeing the cars in the parking lot. Elsinore is getting traffic. They're getting a lot of phone calls over there as well. So everything that we had already started working up to with our online presence, it's starting to come through and work. So just make sure you guys are taking full advantage. And like Donna will tell you, I'm sure she'll attest to it, is you have to just stick to it because you're guaranteed you're going to get something. But as Paul used to say, it's luck and timing. You know, you have to sit there enough times so that, you know, one of these days, it could be the morning, it could be the afternoon, it could be at nighttime. We don't know when it's going to happen, but there's going to be walk-in traffic. So take that opportunity. And great communication is knowing what you're saying, right? So scripting, I've never used to be a huge scripting guy, but you have to know what you're saying when you're talking to people. So put yourself in those shoes. If you're a new realtor and if you were sitting on floor and somebody walked in, how would you react? How would you be able to convert that lead? And that's what it boils down to. So you guys, I hope you start attending. David, if you're on the mic, I think, is it every Tuesday or every other Tuesday at 10 a.m.? And just...
It's every other Tuesday. It's at 9 a.m. So this is for you guys to wake up early, get a fresh start to your day. We're there for an hour. And like Felipe said, it's an opportunity to practice that conversation. Like I've even called it now just professional conversations, not even scripting. It's just, how do I talk to someone professionally about the industry that I'm a professional in?
It's huge. It's huge. And right now with the uncertainty of COVID and everything else, it's very easy for us to say, hey, we got to go out there and get business, which I'm going to help you guys today with that, by the way. But it's very easy to say that, but it's another thing to actually know our business and really understand how to get the message across that we're trying to get across. People want to work with individuals that they feel comfortable with, that they trust. But if you don't know what you're talking about, or in reference to real estate or lending, it's going to be tough. So you want to definitely join us for those scripting calls every other Tuesday. But I challenge you guys to get together and do it way more often than every other week. One day every other week is just what David can do with his time. Doesn't mean that stops you from doing it yourselves. Okay, so make sure you guys practice. Just greeting somebody at the door. Okay. So I think I've talked enough about that. Now, and again, utilize your team, utilize Paul, utilize Sean, because they're here, even though they're in the other building, they're here to assist you guys. If you have questions about rentals, if you have questions about lending, we don't want you guys to be lenders per se, but we want you to be sharp enough to understand what's going on in the lending world. Okay. So who knows what the interest rates are today? Anybody? Show of hands. Who knows what the interest rates are today? Paul, take a shot at it. What is it? What's the 30-year rate today?
The 30-year rate's going back and forth between 2.25 to 2.5. Of course, obviously depending on your credit and income and all your stuff. But for 30-year fix, it's a good deal.
And so if I'm a client, or if I'm somebody that you meet off the street or whatever, and says, so what's going on with interest rates? I hear they're going really well. I mean, what are the rates right now? How would you respond to that? Similar to what you just did. And you went back on mute, by the way.
Oh, you're talking about still? Well, no. If I had someone approach me and ask, what was going on, which would probably never happen, but I would just explain that it just increases their buying power right now over what if the rates were to go up or jump up for any reason, their buying power is just so much increased. Now, I don't have those exact numbers. I would refer to Sean, but.
Right. But we know that they are historically low. And, all I know is that right now your buying power is way more than what it was a few years ago. Let's get with the lender. Let's talk that out. But, you want to have an understanding, an idea of what's going on with rates or where they are, but you definitely don't want to be quoting interest rates as Paul mentioned. So, that's what Sean and Don are here for. That's what they're here to help us with. But get them on the call. Okay. So it's all about how you have the conversation and how you script. So before we by the way, who's excited? Who wants to get some guaranteed results this year, or even for 2021 in real estate? So I know Chris does, Maria does. I'm going to guarantee business next year. And this is not something I came up with. I've been researching just all of the events, all of the videos, all the conferences that have been going on throughout the US during the pandemic, of people putting in all their ideas. And I got 10, but I'm only going to cover 5 today. So these 5, I guarantee you will get business. And we're going to talk about them. But, because my goal is I want to see more trophies. I want to see more people getting those $1 million months. And, because we've had the pandemic, everything you guys see behind me, all those little trophies some of them are past due, by the way, because I haven't seen you guys, but I have a ton of trophies to give out. And now that we're starting to get back into the office and starting to get back to work, I did want to go over the $1 million producers for the last couple months, and also for September, our top agents for the month of September, who all 5 of them happen to be over $1 million themselves. So I want to say a huge congratulations. And I wanted to go ahead and share my screen and get started with that. So I'm going to do that real quick. And let's do this slideshow. Here we go. All right. So for the month of September, congratulations to Jamie DePaul, Wendy and Janie as our team, David Gordon, Denise Vasquez, Andrea Emerson, and the #1 sales agent for the month of September, Jennifer Hultquist, almost $2 million. Congratulations, you guys. Huge shout out. A trophy's coming for every single one of you. Each one of them hit over $1 million in the month of September. So the list goes on from there, but I did want to say that, let's see. I mean, this is kind of hard to do with without help. I don't know where Becky's at. Let's see. So I owe a couple trophies here. So first of all, for the month of June and July of 2020, over $1 million to our team, Wendy and Janie. So they got actually one trophy for each month. So June and July, and now in September, they hit over $1 million as well. We got Chris Finocchio, who hit over $1 million in July. Ellen Beltran, over $1 million in July. July was a good month. George and Zunza. And then this little lady, I know she's on the call. Congratulations, Maria Speed. You got $1 million month as well. I think it was her first $1 million month ever. Maria, are you still on the call? She might be on mute still. So I think it's her first $1 million month ever. So congratulations, over $1 million in the month of June, and she crushed it. And so she's doing really well. So congratulations again. So you're going to get your trophy. She's here at the office, so I'll go take it over to her. Jennifer Hillquist hit 2 trophies for the month of June and July. Denise Vasquez, Terry Holiday, Andrea Emerson, as I mentioned before. So I'm going to be handing these out. So with that, I can't see everybody, but I'm sure everybody wants to be hitting those types of numbers. So we are going to get right into, and for some reason I have to, can you guys see my screen right there? Sean, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, awesome. So 5 things to start doing right now. So what we have to do is we have to start focusing on being the fourth quarter, being the last couple months of the year. What you have to start working right now, everything that you're putting into escrow right now is starting to get you into 2021. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to most of you guys. So what we're going to talk about is 5 things that we need to start doing right now. And I'm going to challenge you guys because I guarantee if you practice these things, you're going to get business. It's a guarantee. Okay. Now, how many of you are going to guarantee or commit to doing it? That's the problem. That's the challenge, right? So we need to get a guarantee. We need to get a promise that you guys are going to try to practice this stuff. So I want to go around. I want to go around and talk about this with everybody to make sure that we get commitments that these are things that you're going to practice. Make sure you write this stuff down. So the very first thing we're going to create is we want to talk about a past client challenge. Okay. So I want you guys to take a list of all the people that you've dealt with in the last 3 to 5 years, okay? It could be your database, your sphere. If you just got into real estate a year ago, you still know enough people. I want you to write down all the people that you know for the last 3 to 5 years and write them down, put them on a list, okay? You're gonna reach out personally, preferably, via phone call. You can use video if you're tech savvy. All right. And we're going to get into videography in a second, but you can reach out personally. And I even wrote down the script. So this is something I came up with and, go along with me here, Sean, but I'm going to say, hey, Sean, what's going on, man? I'm reaching out to all my family, friends. Seems to be a lot of questions I'm being hit with right now about real estate. I just wanted to check in on you, man. How you doing? Do you have any questions for me about real estate or anything I can help you with?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Do you know what my house is worth?
No. Next question. Just kidding. Anyways, that's the script, though. It's so simple, you guys. If you were to make, and what I wrote down is just everyone can at least make a commitment to contact 1 person each day. How difficult would that be?
Now,
Okay.
are these people that have bought something from you or sold something with you, or people that you have in your database?
So good question. That's Donna, I believe?
Yeah.
Okay, so good question. So what you want to do is you want to take a look at people that you've assisted with in the past, bought or sold a home, okay? So let's say Donna says, well, I'm newer to the game. I have 4 sales under my belt, 5 sales, 10 sales, 2 sales. It doesn't matter. You must have a list of family, friends, relatives, acquaintances that you've known from the past. Let me put it to you this way. I just got my license yesterday. Hey, Paul, how's it going, man? He's my neighbor, for example. I'm just reaching out to family and friends because I seem to be getting a ton of questions about real estate now that I'm licensed. So I just wanted to check in with you. Do you have any questions or anything that you've been kind of confused about, seeing the news? Boom, there you go. You can use this script for anybody. It does not have to be somebody that you've sold a house to. Okay, does that make sense, Donna?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Now, Donna, since you asked, I mean, do you think if you were to call and by the way, one person a day, that's because I'm using the law of averages for realtors that they're not going to do everything that we talk about today. Do you think that if you were to call 1 to 5 people every single day for the rest of 2020, that you'll get at least something out of it? Donna, you personally, what do you think?
Well, I would really hope so, but I don't have a huge database yet. But I think if I mean, my new buyers obviously just bought this year, so obviously they're not going to, but they could have family or friends.
Well, I want to say, I guarantee, and I put 2 E's, guarantee you will get results.
I'll do it.
I can't see everybody else. Let's see, who else is on here? David Gordon. Do you think if you were to call 1 person minimum every single day, there's no way in heck you're not going to tell me that you don't believe you'll get some results from that?
Most definitely get results, for sure.
Okay. Now, I know some of you already contact people, but this script I literally made up myself. There's different scripts out there. This one, I like to put it more relative to friends and family, because I know some of you sold, 500 homes in the last 10 years. Some of you have been in business for a year, like Donna. So you're not going to have a long list of people that have bought and sold with you, but it doesn't matter. It could be literally anybody, friends, family, everybody. And the script is simple. Hey, I'm just reaching out to all my family friends right now because there seems to be a lot of questions I'm getting about real estate now that I'm licensed, or if you've been licensed for a long time. There's a lot of questions regarding real estate right now. I just want to check in on you. How's everything going? How are you enjoying the home? Do you have any questions about real estate that I can help with? I can't make that any easier. David, what do you think? Since you're doing our scripting, what do you think? I want feedback.
That's great. Sorry, I was chewing. But no, that's fantastic. And what Felipe is saying is absolutely right. Having those conversations is what's going to do it. People are actually waiting to hear what we have to say about real estate, especially here in our local communities, because real estate is something that's hyper local. So despite what they're seeing in the news, that may not necessarily be affecting where they live, because they're looking at it nationally, as opposed to we can give them information to where we currently live and reside. So 100% agree with Felipe. I love the script. It's something that we're going to go ahead and we'll definitely use it in our scripting as well when we move forward. Make the phone calls. Don't be afraid to have that conversation, because having that conversation is what's going to lead to business.
And it's all about making contacts. And, I see a lot of the new agents that jump in, and they've been really, really hungry and really, really motivated to get business. The trick is you don't have to wait, you guys. This is something that every single one of us, I'm sorry, but there's nobody on the call right now that can tell me, well, maybe except for Ray Sully, that could say, I'm done for the year. I don't want any more money. I don't want to work anymore. Ray Sully's rich, right? So, he's semi-retired, he tells me. He tries to retire every year. But the reality is there's not one person in this room that's selling 500-600 homes every single year, right? So why should we not be utilizing this? And we're going to call this our Past Client Challenge, because it's a challenge. It's something to get you guys to get on the phone, reach out, and just do our jobs, right? We're offering our assistance. Now, if you did actually sell a home to somebody that you contact, the conversation is even easier, you guys, because you basically get on the phone and say, hey, how's it going, Sean? I'm reaching out to all my family friends. I just want to check in. I'm getting a lot of real estate questions. I know you bought the house last year. How's everything going, man? Everything still works? Any questions? What's up, right? Good opportunity to remind them about their home warranty, about all kinds of stuff. Is there anybody else that that could utilize my services, Sean? Right? So, guys, this script can lead to much, much more. Okay? So that's number one. And we're going to put this on an email because I want to make sure we follow up on this. I see it all the time. You guys, I'm telling you, if you do this, I want to see all the newbies in here, at least calling one person minimum And that is so minimum. That's just one individual, but hopefully you guys see the benefit to that. So number 2, let's get into number 2. So number 2 is something that has been called the magic buyer letter, okay? And I put /phone call because this is something that we've been trying to establish. The fact of the matter is that we know that we're in a situation right now, there's no inventory, right? Everybody can agree there's not enough homes for sale, but there's a ton of buyers out there. So the magic buyer letter /phone call can be something that you do on Facebook. It could be a post. It could be something you utilize for farming. It could be postcards, or it could even be phone calls. Now, a phone call would be something when you do a cold calling night, pick up the phone. Hey, how's it going? Listen, we just sold a home in your neighborhood, had over 38 offers. Okay. Now, don't just make up numbers, you guys. I mean, I know that there's been listings that we have. If you talk to some of the agents in the office, they'll tell you, I had 5 offers. I had 10 offers. I had 50 offers. So, but what that means is there's 37 people that are still out there looking to buy in your neighborhood. Okay. So these are highly qualified individuals looking to purchase, and they love the homes in those neighborhoods. Have you thought of selling for top dollar in this market? You know, you have to offer them something, but it's just an intro call. Okay. Now chime in if somebody's doing something along these lines. Make sure to chime in here so we can share ideas. But that could be a phone call. It could be a postcard. And if you've never utilized CoreFact or seen CoreFact, get familiar with it. Go on corefact.com. See some of the direct mail pieces that are available out there. You guys can copy this. But the magic buyer letter is just basically a letter, a piece of paper, some sort of a direct mail piece that you can send out saying, hey, we just sold a home in the neighborhood, had over 38 offers. That means 37 people are still out there looking to buy in your neighborhood right now. Have you thought of selling right now in today's market, right? Or do you have any real estate questions? How can I be of assistance? I can offer a free consultation. Bottom line is, it says on there, we need inventory. If you could call and put up a mailer together, this system will work. Okay. Now, if I go around the room and I look for somebody that's been doing real estate for quite some time, Magda, you've been doing real estate for, you know, a little over 5 years now, right? I'd say what, 10 years, 15 years?
15.
Okay, 15 years. 15 years ago, so 2005, do you remember the days of writing and sending out mailers to clients? Do you remember, some of you might remember, we used to have binders of different types of letters that we could send out for all types of situations. Yep. And they were called, we have listings, we have buyers, your neighbor is selling. I mean, some of you might remember some of these letters that we used to put in binders. All we're doing now is we're taking that same concept and utilizing it again, because the history is repeating itself. You know, out of this, you know, I don't know how many people are on the call right now, but out of everybody on this call, if I were to ask how many are doing this, all of these 5 things right now, none of you would raise your hand, right? Because that's typically what happens in real estate, is we all definitely want more business,
Amber,
but we're not all practicing all of these things. So if you guys put some of these things back into practice, you're going to guarantee to see results. Any questions on the magic buyer letter before I move on to the third one? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys like? Yep. Okay, cool. Number 3, this one's cool. The CMA-a-thon. Okay, CMA-a-thon is something that I used to do all the time back in the day. A CMA-a-thon. So, you know, somebody chime in, but what's the number one thing that every single person that owns a piece of real estate wants to know? What do they want to know? Who can chime in?
how much is my house worth?
Exactly. What is my house worth? You know, the most important marketing piece, or the most important piece of information about the market, is how much my house is worth, right? So here's a challenge that I wanted to give you guys results. I'm going to jump to the final little bullet point there, because I'm going to start there to basically get to a point where you're sending no less than 10 personalized CMAs every single month by the new year. So this is for my new agents and my experienced agents. If you're Donna, Donna, who just closed a couple deals this year, your goal is to get to the point where you're sending out 10 personalized CMAs every single month by 2021. Now, what is a personalized CMA? This is where you guys can get tech savvy. You can use, Cloud CMA, for example, RPR, whatever you want. All you have to do is get that first page that says, your home is worth X with their little photo on there, and send it to 10 people that you personally have either closed a deal with or you know what I mean, that the family member that owns a home currently. So what I used to do is I would go around, I would farm, say 100 houses, and the 2 people that I would talk to, I would put them in my database out of 100 homes, and I would personally send them an email once a month that just said, hey, congratulations, your home is worth X this month. So if David Gordon has, 100 clients that he's helped in the last 3 years, it should be very easy for you to handpick 10 people that you've worked with and you worked with well, that own homes, that if you started sending them a piece of mail every single month or an email that had their CMA of what their house is worth today, every single month, they're going to get to a point where they're going to be expecting that report from you. And they're going to love it because they are seeing what their house is worth. Does this make sense, you guys? It's really hard to do this when we're virtually because I can't see everybody, but thumbs up. Okay. So
that's what Zillow does. Zillow sends an email if you are on Zillow, hey, this is what your house is worth this month. And they do it about every month, whether it's gone up or down. So it's kind of the same thing what Zillow's doing.
And see, that's so true. So I didn't even realize if you were to ever go on Zillow and type some information on there about your property, you're going to start seeing a report every single month. But this is your opportunity to kind of separate yourselves from the competition, you guys, because nobody's doing this. If you make it personal, if you send it, just going around the room, let's pretend that David Gordon, Chris Holden, Paul, Sean, Amber, if I can get to 10 people that I know own homes, and once a month, they get an email or a letter from me in the mail that says, hey, congratulations, your equity went up 10% this month. Are you kidding me? They're gonna love it. And my little photo and information's at the bottom. So now every single month I'm creating branding for myself. I'm farming, but I'm farming strategically. Okay. So guaranteed, if they were to get to the point where they were thinking about selling, or maybe if those people I just named off, Amber calls me and says, hey, I always get your stuff, but I had a question. So, I think I have equity. How can I use that, to buy a pool or do blah, blah, blah? I mean, think about it, guys. It's not just about getting to the listing or to buy a house. It's about anything that we can do to assist them will lead to business. Okay. So I hope I'm not getting long-winded here. Hopefully this is good information. So Jamie DePaul is putting on the chat box, thoughts on sending the buyers of the home you sold one, even if you didn't represent them. So what Jamie's saying is, if you didn't represent them. Now, keep in mind, that's a good point. Keep in mind, if you are going to do something in the mail, okay, you do have to have certain verbiage and disclaimers on there. So you obviously want to make sure and run it by either myself or the marketing team, because anytime you send something that's a solicitation with somebody that you have not worked with, okay, you want to make sure you have that verbiage. Hey, this is not a solicitation to list your home if you're already currently listed with somebody else, or whatever that verbiage is. So there's certain things that we're going to have to make sure and clarify if you have not worked with them before. Okay, my goal is to say, for example, Jamie, is get to a point where you're sending 10 people that every single month by January, that CMA, and you'll start getting to a point where it becomes repetitive and simple that you can knock it out in like 30 minutes. And you'll get to a point where you start doing more and more and more. And then hopefully it becomes automated. Okay. So the buyer of the home that you sold, even if you didn't represent them.
Felipe, I do that all the time. I automatically add them to my mailing list. And I've actually gotten 3 or 4 deals because once the deal closes, the buyer's agent normally does not ever reach out and contact them again. And then they call me because I'm the one sending them the stuff. Technically, after the deal is closed, the fiduciary relationship's over. So I do it all the time.
It is over. And, Paul hit it on the head when he says that, the key is in follow-up. We've all heard the term money's in the follow-up. That's probably the biggest challenge for all realtors is following up with past clients. I know that we talk about it all the time. And so if you sell a listing, 9 times out of 10, that buyer's agent is not following up with that buyer. So like Paul said, hey, send them something in the mail. Congratulations, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, the equity market report for your address has gone up 10% or whatever you decide to come up with, but that's personalized. Okay.
I usually send them my annual little calendar with my card on it that you can stick on the fridge. And basically it's, 50 cents a year to do it, or $1 a year. And I've had great return on investments with it. And that's all I really do with those guys.
And the calendars are so effective because, like he said, it's cost effective. And I think the rule of thumb is if somebody puts it on the fridge, guess what? It's going to stay there for, I think, 7 years is what they came up with. So, very important to have something to send to your clients. But the CMA-a-thon is something that I think we can have fun with. We can make sure to get to a point, if I see you guys and you say, well, I'm struggling, I'm not doing anything, I'm going to say, okay, how many CMAs are you sending out personally? You should be sending them personally to your sphere, to the people that you've helped. And this could also be a challenge to some of you that have closed, 10, 20 deals last year. If you've closed some deals last year, get to a point where you let them know, look, I'm going to be sending you this so you can know what your value is doing. They're going to really appreciate it, you guys. Okay. So hopefully thumbs up on that one, the magic buyer letter. Now here's something that I wanted to introduce and talk about videography. And Kyle, I hope you're still on the call. Just go ahead and unmute yourself in a second. But this little challenge is going to be the Facebook 1-minute live neighborhood video. So as soon as I said video, everybody's like, oh crap, here we go. Whatever, I'm not doing video. Even though Maria Speed killed it, Magda did a great job. Maria, you were like a natural on the video, and I want to see more. I need to see more videos, right? So Facebook 1-minute live neighborhood video. So look at my little bullet point. Have you ever scrolled through Facebook or Instagram? And if you see a video that let's say you live in Greer Ranch and you're scrolling through and all of a sudden you see a video that the thumbnail starts with the Greer Ranch gate, 100% you're going to click to see what that video is. 100% you will have odds of hitting that. They're going to hit play on that video. So if somebody lives in Menifee Lakes and they see the video starts with the Menifee Lakes or whatever, 100% they're going to stop and click play. Okay. So 1-minute live neighborhood video. So here's the concept. Let's pretend you live in Heritage Lakes. The 1-minute live neighborhood video is just, hey guys, this is Felipe Century 21 Preferred coming to you live right outside the gate here at Heritage Lakes or whatever, Greer Ranch. And this month, the market video is blah, blah, blah. So here's a little tidbit. Our marketing team put out a flyer every single month with a market update for the different cities. You can copy that information and literally do a 30-second video. But the trick is you want to start the video with you standing outside or in front of the monument sign of the community or the neighborhood or something familiar with that neighborhood. Okay. So hopefully you guys can picture that. And speaking of video, so video obviously is something that we have to get content out there in the world. And the best way to market yourself and brand yourself right now is with and through video, you guys. So we've actually partnered up with Kyle, who I hope is on the call. Kyle, are you on the call? So Kyle is our videographer. Some of you have met him. We hired him to come in twice a month. Okay. And the last time I had him out here, we only had about 2 people or 3 people that showed up. So I wanted to get him on the call because, we have the opportunity to do so much with video. I'm paying for him to come out here and do the videos for you guys. So you guys have a free opportunity to do some video, even neighborhood videos with Kyle, so that you can promote yourself, download it, save it, and blast it on social media. So I also wanted him to talk about basically what he's offering for pricing with photography. But hopefully we can get him back on the call. I think maybe the call dropped with him. Chris, if you're still on the phone, if you can get him on the call. Okay, so thoughts about a 1 minute live neighborhood video. And I know there's probably some questions because I don't have like a slideshow showing you guys like what that would look like. But it's basically just picture yourself standing in front of the monument of Greer Ranch or the entrance of Heritage Lake or even the lake itself. Okay, so if the point is, if I live there in that community and I'm on Facebook and I'm scrolling through and I see, you know, the start of the video where I'm in front of that community and that's my community, I'm going to play it. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to hear what it is. And it's going to be you talking about the neighborhood update. Maria, did you have a question?
Yeah, just for clarification, because if I'm understanding it right, Kyle would come twice a month or whatever if we're able to meet with him. We're
Mhm.
gonna do a video on whatever topic it is that we think is going to be of interest. We're supposed to save it, but what if it's not relevant or you know, like content wise, what is it we're promoting, I guess?
Well, it's right here on this slide. I mean, you want to get to a point where you're comfortable enough doing some sort of market update videos. And when you do market update videos, we're talking like literally 30 seconds, you guys. So, you know, hi, how's it going? This is Maria, Century 21 Preferred, just giving you your latest update for, you know, the Murrieta market, the blah, blah, blah market, the Greer Ranch community, the Heritage Lakes community. You know, don't forget this week we're having the movie night at Lake Elsinore at our office. And you know what I mean? Like there's so many different things you can be talking about. It's literally just about getting in front of the camera. Now, the goal is every time you have a listing or just sold, or when you help a family in any type of situation, those are all opportunities for videos. Okay. But I think what I'm getting at with the Facebook 1 minute live challenge is I'm trying to share with you guys that if you were to promote something as far as the communities involved and you want to pick a community, so like say for example, Jennifer with Greer Ranch, if she were to do a video with her standing outside of the Greer Ranch gate or whatever, and if I live in Greer Ranch and she's advertising on social media in Greer Ranch, and I scroll through and I see the Greer Ranch sign, hey, wait, that's my neighborhood. What's this? I'm gonna play 100% of the time. They're gonna watch what you have to say about that, about the community. Okay, so in regard to Kyle, I was hoping he was still on the call so he could kind of introduce himself and share. You know, it's up in the air, you guys. I'm providing him twice a month. You guys can come up with any content, any ideas. You can, you know, schedule the time to say, hey, Kyle, I have this great idea. I want it to go viral. Here's what I was thinking. Can we meet up next time? Okay, but it's going to be outside of Heritage Lakes. Okay. Take a look at what Chris Holden's done. I mean, obviously he's done some videos for Just Listed, Just Sold. That's a great idea. But again, the odds of somebody clicking on a video if it's in their neighborhood is 100%. So you want to get to that habit. All right. Last but not least, guaranteed results. You know, this is something where, unfortunately, this is something you would have to pay for, but home value ads. So don't give up on looking at the opportunity at Facebook home value ads. A home value ad is just simply an ad that you would pay for on Facebook. And it says something as simple as, did you know that the homes in Greer Ranch have seen a 10% increase in equity? Click here to get a quote. You know, we have to start thinking outside the box, you guys. I've given you 4 different outlooks of things that you can do. This one being one of the only ones that you really have to pay for, if that makes sense. But it's definitely an opportunity to generate business. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here for a second. Wow, we got a lot of people on the call. So I said a lot, but there's 5 topics of what we can do, 5 things that guaranteed results. So I want some feedback. So what do you guys think? And I want to hear some of you, you know, what are some of the things that you guys want to implement so we can keep you accountable? And I'm going to start with you, Maria, since you just got off the phone. I'm going to pick on you. Out of those 5 things,
which one do I like the best?
Implement?
I feel like the whole past client challenge, that seems doable to me, because even if you don't have that many past clients, it's just the idea of touch base with that neighbor. Like the neighbor, you can just go and every day go to the next neighbor and the one next to that and the one next to that. Because I think from a neighborly standpoint, they're not going to be as concerned about the COVID, but even if you put your mask on, go up to the door and then take a step back. So like in my neighborhood, our backdoor neighbors were going to be doing our fence. So it was a perfect opportunity to be like, oh, yeah, I think we would do that. But you know what? If we're going to do it, since our fences touch that neighbor, let's talk to that neighbor. And I'd be happy to. And so then I have talked to 8 neighbors. And I think I've got almost everyone down the line. And then I basically just kind of said, hey, by the way, were you guys thinking of selling? Because I wouldn't want to put you in that position where you have to pay for the fence if you're not planning on staying. And so far, everyone either just moved in or whatever. But they were like, oh, I didn't realize you were a realtor, you know? Right. And so we're meeting everybody on Saturday, and I'm definitely taking my cards.
Nice.
I just figured that's a perfect opportunity.
It is. And, you know, the past client challenge, if you're just joining us on the call, you know, it's simple as just picking up the phone, calling people that you've worked with in the last 1 year to 3 years, and just picking up the phone and say, hey, how's it going, David? You know, glad to hear from you. Hey man, I'm just giving you a quick call. I've been getting a ton of questions about real estate now that I'm licensed, or whatever you want to say, about real estate. So I just wanted to call, check in on you. How's everything going? Do you have any questions about anything, about your equity, about your home, about real estate in general, right? And leave it at that. It will spark a conversation. Guaranteed, you guys, it will spark a conversation. So, and David, I know that you used to get on the phone all the time. So I'm going to challenge you, because I want to see you on the phone even more now. Okay, so let's see, going around the room. Joyce. I see you, Joyce. And I see Brian. I'm going to pick on both of you guys. So I would hope that everybody would take the past client challenge and also take the challenge of the CMA-a-thon. So Joyce, which one of the 5 do you like best, and which one do you think you can initiate now?
I like the past client, because I'm really good at I've actually been doing it. So that's what I've been doing since I've been working from home.
Yeah.
Maybe not every day, but that's what I've been kind of doing. So.
Well, and we're working from home, but people are also at home as well. And, you know, they see all of this buzz about real estate and lending and refis and interest rates and what's going on. You know, should I cash in now? Should I refinance now? Should I take out equity? Should I buy a new home? Should I buy an investment home? So many questions going on, you guys. We have to be available, but it's going to start by you picking up the phone and calling people. Okay. So Magda, you wanted to ask something or say something?
I like the combination of the magic buyer letter with the CMA, the personal CMA.
The CMA-a-thon is something I use successfully in my own business. I mean, I wish I would have expanded on it and done it so much more, but I swear you get to a point where if you're sending that past client a CMA every single month, 1 page or 2 pages max, not all this funky stuff and analytics, just 1 page, their photo of their house, your photo at the bottom, your contact info, and your home equity is this much this month. Okay. Hint, hint, Cloud CMA can print out that 1 page for you, and you don't even have to do the work. So you send it every single month, and people start receiving that. Like Paul said on Zillow, you get that notification, your value is X. That will cause them to pick up the phone and call you and ask you questions when it comes time to refi or buy or get a second home or anything, okay? So that's a great habit to get into. And I think it's easy for everybody. Magda, you've been in business long enough. You have a big database. You should be able to get to a point where you can start sending 10 a month by January. Just make it a goal. Make it a goal. You'll see a response. Okay. And the magic buyer letter, it's also a great way for you to even pick up the phone and call people if we start doing cold calling nights again. I know some of the team did that on Thursday last week. I wasn't able to attend. Patrick was here and they just got on the phones, but it gives you something to say. Okay, so you're not looking for something to say. All right, well, I'm gonna pick on one more person. Let's see. Kim Buckingham, you got 1 of the 5. Which one do you like best? And do you think you're gonna use one to guarantee business? She's like, oh, let me run and hit unmute.
Yeah, I'm trying to unhit mute. I like the CMA one, and I'm going to definitely do that for my clients.
Awesome. Awesome. It's good. It's just going to show your professionalism. It's going to give them an opportunity to give you a call. You guys, I hope you guys really took note on these things. I mean, these are just 5 topics. There's going to be 5 more. But next week, make sure you save the date. I want everybody on the call. We have an attorney for an hour and a half, and it's going to be about avoiding risk in real estate. Topics are going to include dual agency, disclosures, new COVID guidelines. So make sure you're there because Robert Sunderland's amazing. He puts on a great class, and we're going to be able to ask him questions. I want to make sure that we keep everybody from getting in trouble. So definitely attend that. That's next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. I'm burnt out. I talked a lot. So you guys, does anybody have any new listings coming up? We need inventory. Going once. Going twice.
Coming up, but not until the 1st of November or the beginning of November.
Joyce, go ahead.
It's coming as soon as my client moves into his new house. It's a condo and arboretum. It's the 1-bedroom plus office. The bigger one, I forget how many square feet. I'm not exactly sure all of what we're going to do. He refuses to let me do anything with it until he moves out. So probably the first week in November.
Okay.
And somewhere around 260. So that's it.
Okay, great price point.
Yeah.
Magda?
I actually have an active listing in Sun City. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1440 square feet. They have done a little bit of things to it, but not a lot. And that is listed for $255. And those of you who have clients for Temecula, probably next month, I'll be getting a listing in Temecula, 3,200 square foot home, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and that will be listed for close to $6. That's coming next month. So if anybody's got clients for there, let me know.
It's a huge house. Awesome. Paul, did you have one or some stuff coming up?
No, I just wanted to mention that we've been getting a lot of requests. People are asking about we used to send out a weekly rental list of our properties and stuff. And ever since COVID hit and the admins kind of went on their little leave of absences, we just haven't had time to do those. The problem with it is that these rentals right now are going so fast. They're literally flying off the shelves. We just did our move-in today. We've got 0 availability in our homes. We do have several that are coming up, but we're also continuing to get agents that are they're forwarding phone calls back to us, and I know we don't know who sent one call back, which office or where it came back from, but Richard literally got a listing and a buyer from a call that was. You guys just have to ask one more question: is why haven't you thought about buying a home and try to convert these tenants and renters to buyers? I think some of you are so anti-renter that you guys are leaving a huge opportunity and money on the table by walking away from them and not giving them the service that they're asking for. So if you guys want any of those leads of some of these properties that we might have coming up here in middle of November, we got a couple coming up that we know that'll be renting out. Come see me. I know Philip and Michael have been coming in getting leads, but it's a huge opportunity with the renters to increase your database and get some more money in your pocket.
Yeah, and on that note too, you got to keep in mind, guys, I mean, there was a point in time where we were spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars individually to purchase things like Zillow leads and what have you. And when you would receive those, it was a bunch of junk. I mean, you have people that are literally calling saying, I'm interested in renting this property. So worst case scenario is they don't qualify right now, but that they have to have a place to live. So, work with these individuals that are looking for rentals. They turn into buyers. We've seen it happen. Can't stress it enough. It's a free lead for you to work with. And if you get to the point where you can facilitate their needs without having to go anywhere, basically have them come to you, as Paul and Richard will show you how to do that. You make $100 to $500 a week just helping a renter. I mean, it's good money in my opinion. So just take that as an opportunity. It turns into more down the road. Magda, thank you for that. Joyce, thank you for that. Coming soon. I know there's probably a few more. Some of you out there I see Jennifer's on the call. So Jennifer, did you have one coming up or anything we need to share?
I have my coming soon in Murrieta. It's the 1-story, just under 1,400 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, with a pool, built-in barbecue, fire pit in the backyard, good sized lot on a corner, low taxes, no HOA, off of like Hancock and Los Alamos area, and I think it'll probably be listed maybe around 420, and it'll be active end of next week.
That's going to go super fast. I mean, you guys hear the price went 420. We all know what happened to the last one she listed for that price point in Murrieta. You know, take the opportunity, contact people, talk to people. Hey, I'm thinking about buying. Hey, I know of a house that's coming soon. It's going to be in the 420 price range. Give me a call, right? I mean, we have properties that we can get ahead of the game here. So make sure you get that word out there. You can't show it, but you can definitely start talking to people about that have been thinking about buying. Try to get them first in line if possible. Okay. Thank you so much, Jennifer. If anybody else doesn't have any listings they want to share at this time, I think we're good. We got to get started calling our past clients. We got to start the past client challenge. I want to see everybody on the phones, 1 to 3 people a day, you guys. It's not difficult to do. I guarantee you guys will start seeing some business come the end of this year and next year. You don't want to slow down. Take the opportunity. The rates are still phenomenally low. Don't slow down for the holidays. Use COVID as the excuse. COVID's canceled all the holidays, right? That's what they're saying on social media. So not for us. We are working and working away, and mostly everybody on the call is at the office. So make sure to not slow down. Instead, this is the time to ramp up. Okay. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. And we will see you all soon. Hopefully see you at the movie night in Elsinore in costume. So you guys take care. See you guys later.
Bye.
Adios. Holden, did you get a hold of Kyle? He disappeared on me.
I didn't know. No.
Oh, I tried to throw him in the call, but he was gone by that time, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Felipe, can we schedule him to come to the Lake Elsinore location?
Yeah. We should probably schedule him to come to our movie night to do some videography of the event.
I believe Terry has it covered.
She has a videographer for the event? Oh,
yep.
All right, cool. Done deal. Mahalo, Alan. All right, you guys, I'll see you. I'm going to hang up here so I can record. Take care.